20 black artists from the 1980s who are still alive and thriving. Forget everything you thought you knew about the birth of modern stardom. The 1980s wasn't just a decade of neon and synths. It was a high-stakes battlefield where these titans fought to own their narratives and redefine global culture. From Diana Ross's billion-dollar elegance to Kool Moe Dee's lyrical warfare, these legends didn't just top the charts, they built empires from the ground up. You're witnessing the DNA of every modern superstar decoded right here. Don't let the history books overlook the architects of the groove. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for Black Excellence Legends. Join our community as we honor the blood, sweat, and soul behind the greatest icons in history. Grace Jones. Grace Jones remains a singular phenomenon who shattered the boundaries between music, fashion, and cinema. Born in Jamaica before relocating to New York, she initially conquered the Parisian runways, becoming a muse for legendary designers like Yves Saint Laurent. Her transition into music during the late 1970s and early 1980s was nothing short of revolutionary. Jones didn't just sing, she curated a visual and auditory universe that blended reggae, post-punk, and synth-pop. Her iconic albums, such as Nightclubbing and Slave to the Rhythm, are celebrated for their bold experimental textures and her distinctive contralto vocals. Beyond the recording studio, her androgynous aesthetic, characterized by flat-top haircuts and sharp, angular tailoring, redefined gender norms decades before it became a mainstream conversation. This fierce persona seamlessly translated to the silver screen, where she portrayed unforgettable characters like the formidable Mayday in the James Bond classic A View to a Kill, and the fierce warrior Zulaw in Conan the Destroyer. Her presence was always magnetic, demanding attention through a mixture of stoic elegance and raw power. As we move through 2026, her influence is more palpable than ever. She isn't merely a relic of the disco era, she is a living blueprint for modern superstars like Beyoncé and Janelle Monáe. Jones continues to headline major international festivals, delivering high-concept performances that involve hula hooping for entire songs while maintaining flawless vocal control. Her autobiography, I'll Never Write My Memoirs, offers a candid look at her refusal to conform to industry expectations. Grace Jones remains the ultimate disruptor, a timeless radical whose commitment to authenticity has ensured her status as a thriving permanent fixture in the pantheon of global art. Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz stands as a monumental figure who successfully bridged the chasm between vintage rock aesthetics and contemporary soul sensibilities. Emerging at the tail end of the 1980s with his groundbreaking debut, Let Love Rule, Kravitz bypassed the era's synthesized trends to embrace a raw, multi-instrumental approach. His mastery over the guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards allowed him to produce a signature sound that felt both nostalgic and urgently fresh. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, he dominated the airwaves with anthems like Are You Gonna Go My Way and Fly Away, a feat that earned him a record-breaking 4 consecutive Grammy Awards for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance, an achievement that remains unsurpassed as of early 2026. Beyond his auditory contributions, Kravitz embodies the essence of a modern polymath. His foray into cinema showcased a surprising depth of talent, particularly in his portrayal of the empathetic Sinaa in the Hunger Games franchise and his gritty performance in Precious. Simultaneously, he channeled his sophisticated eye for aesthetics into Kravitz Design Incorporated, a high-end interior design firm that has curated luxury spaces globally. Whether he is designing a boutique hotel or a bespoke furniture line, his work consistently mirrors the organic textures and soulful warmth found in his musical compositions. Today at 61, Kravitz remains a paragon of vitality and creative stamina. His 2024 album, Blue Electric Light, received critical acclaim for its infectious energy, proving that his ability to craft timeless hooks has only sharpened with age. Dividing his time between the bohemian spirit of Paris and the serene landscapes of the Bahamas, he continues to advocate for a lifestyle rooted in love and spiritual connection. Lenny Kravitz is far more than a legacy act. He is a thriving visionary whose relentless pursuit of artistic purity continues to inspire a new generation of musicians to pick up an instrument and play from the heart. Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder stands as an unparalleled titan in the history of music, a child prodigy whose genius evolved into a global force for social change and artistic transcendence. Signed to Motown at the tender age of 11, he quickly outgrew the Little Stevie moniker to become the architect of a new musical language. During his classic period in the 1970s, Wonder achieved a feat never repeated, winning 3 Album of the Year Grammys for Inner Visions, Fulfilling Nas, First Finale, and the magnum opus Songs in the Key of Life. His mastery of the synthesizer and his ability to weave complex jazz harmonies into infectious pop melodies redefined the possibilities of R&B, funk, and soul. The 1980s saw Wonder utilizing his massive platform for profound activism. Beyond chart-topping hits like I Just Called to Say I Love You, he spearheaded the national campaign to recognize Martin Luther King Jr. Day is a federal holiday in the United States, immortalizing the struggle with his anthem, Happy Birthday. His voice became a beacon of unity, participating in monumental charity projects like We Are the World. Wonder's technical brilliance is matched only by his boundless optimism. Despite his lifelong blindness, his compositions possess a visual vibrancy that paints vivid landscapes of love, spirituality, and civil rights. As we navigate through 2026, Stevie Wonder remains a vital, breathing institution of music. With over 100 million records sold and a staggering 25 Grammy Awards, he continues to grace international stages with a spirit that seems untouched by time. His influence persists in every modern artist who seeks to combine technical virtuosity with a message of social consciousness. Whether performing at the White House or collaborating with contemporary stars, he continues to advocate for accessibility and equality. Stevie Wonder is not just a musician, he is a visionary whose auditory kaleidoscope continues to illuminate the world, proving that true sight comes from the soul. Tracy Chapman. Tracy Chapman emerged in the late 1980s as a stark contrast to the era's flamboyant pop, armed only with an acoustic guitar and a voice of haunting gravitas. Her 1988 self-titled debut was a cultural earthquake centered around the masterpiece Fast Car, which captured the desperate yearning for escape from systemic poverty. Unlike her contemporaries who relied on heavy production, Chapman's success was built on raw storytelling and folk rock purity. Her performance at the Nelson Mandela 70th birthday tribute concert propelled her into the global consciousness, making her a symbol of political conscience. Throughout the 1990s, she continued to craft intricate narratives, earning a Grammy for Give Me One Reason, a track that showcased her ability to infuse bluesy grit into mainstream sensibilities. Chapman's career has always been defined by a deliberate, dignified restraint. She eschewed the relentless pursuit of celebrity choosing, instead to release music only when she had something profound to communicate. Albums like New Beginning and Our Bright Future maintained her reputation as a formidable songwriter who could balance personal intimacy with sharp social commentary. Her lyrics often function as modern parables addressing themes of racial injustice, economic struggle, and the human condition with a quiet intensity that demands the listener's full attention. This authenticity is precisely why her work has never aged. It remains a foundational text for any artist seeking to combine melody with a message. In a remarkable twist of fate, as we look at 2026, Chapman has experienced a massive cultural resurgence. In 2023, she made history as the first Black songwriter to win the Country Music Association Award for Song of the Year, following Luke Combs' soulful cover of Fast Car. This cross-generational, cross-genre success introduced her profound catalog to a new digital age, proving that a great song is an indestructible vessel for emotion. Today, Chapman remains a reclusive yet towering figure, a thriving testament to the power of artistic integrity. She reminds the world that fame is fleeting, but a voice that speaks truth to power is eternal. Diana Ross. Diana Ross remains the ultimate personification of a global superstar, a woman whose career defined the very essence of the word diva in its most regal sense. Rising to prominence in the 1960s as the luminous focal point of the Supremes, she spearheaded Motown's international conquest with a staggering 12 #1 hits. However, it was her bold transition into the 1980s that solidified her status as an independent powerhouse. During this decade, Ross reinvented herself with the chic, dance-infused energy of the album Diana, featuring the immortal anthem I'm Coming Out. Her move to RCA Records for a then unprecedented $20 million contract signaled a new era of artistic autonomy, yielding hits like Why Do Fools Fall in Love and the record-breaking duet Endless Love. which dominated the charts for months. Ross's artistry has always transcended the confines of a microphone. Her foray into Hollywood was equally meteoric, earning an Academy Award nomination for her portrayal of Billie Holiday in Lady Sings the Blues. This duality as a sonic trailblazer and a cinematic force allowed her to craft a visual brand rooted in high-fashion opulence and unapologetic confidence. Whether she was performing in a torrential downpour at Central Park or headlining sold-out arenas, her stage presence remained an exercise in magnetic elegance. She wasn't just a singer, she was a cultural phenomenon who paved a gilded path for every female soloist who followed from Whitney Houston to Beyoncé. As we celebrate her enduring legacy in 2026, Diana Ross continues to radiate an ageless vitality. At 81, she remains a fixture on the global stage, recently releasing the Grammy-nominated album Thank You, which serves as a heartfelt love letter to her fans. Her influence is etched into the DNA of modern entertainment, visible in the lavish costumes and soaring ballads of today's pop icons. Ross continues to headline major festivals, proving that her shimmering vocals and iconic silhouette are as captivating today as they were 6 decades ago. Diana Ross is more than a legend. She is a thriving testament to the idea that true star power never fades, it only grows more radiant with time. Gladys Knight. Gladys Knight stands as a monumental pillar of American music, a vocalist whose warmth and technical precision earned her the revered title Empress of Soul. While her journey began as the frontwoman of Gladys Knight and the Pips during the Motown era, it was the 1980s that showcased her incredible versatility as a solo force and a collaborative genius. During this vibrant decade, she delivered sophisticated adult contemporary hits and participated in one of the most significant charitable recordings in history, That's What Friends Are For. Alongside Dionne Warwick, Elton John, and Stevie Wonder, Knight's soulful contribution helped raise millions for AIDS research, solidifying her reputation as an artist with a profound humanitarian heart. Her voice of rich and emotive contralto remained a gold standard for storytelling, blending the grit of gospel with the smoothness of pop. Knight's longevity is a testament to her adaptability and refusal to be pigeonholed. Beyond the iconic Midnight Train to Georgia, she navigated the evolving musical landscape of the 80s and 90s with grace, consistently finding new audiences through film and television. Her performance of the James Bond theme, License to Kill, in 1989 demonstrated that she could command the grand cinematic stage with as much power as a gritty R&B club. This ability to maintain relevance across generations is rare. Knight didn't just survive changing trends, she thrived within them, maintaining a touring schedule and a recording output that would exhaust artists half her age. Her induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was not a closing chapter, but rather a milestone in a career that continues to flourish. As we reach early 2026, Gladys Knight remains a vibrant and essential thread in the tapestry of global culture. At 81, she continues to defy expectations, whether she is dazzling audiences on competition shows like The Masked Singer or performing for world leaders at the White House. Her 2024 appearances prove that her vocal range and emotional depth remain remarkably intact, a byproduct of a lifetime dedicated to her craft. She serves as a matriarch to the industry, offering a blueprint for how to age with dignity, talent, and an unwavering connection to one's roots. Gladys Knight is not a nostalgia act. She is a thriving legend whose soulful resonance continues to provide comfort and inspiration to millions across the globe. Roy Ayers. Roy Ayers remains one of the most significant and frequently sampled figures in the history of Black music, a vibraphonist and composer whose sonic fingerprints are found across the DNA of modern hip-hop and R&B. While his career ignited in the jazz clubs of the 1960s, it was the 1980s that saw him refining his sunshine sound, a hypnotic blend of jazz improvisation, deep funk grooves, and soulful vocal arrangements. During this decade, Ayers released influential works like In the Dark, 1984, where he experimented with the Linn drum and early synthesizers, proving that a jazz master could masterfully pivot into the burgeoning electronic landscape without losing his organic essence. His music from this era, characterized by a breezy, laid-back optimism, provided the ultimate chill-out soundtrack decades before the term became a global genre. Often hailed as the godfather of neo-soul, Ayers' impact is perhaps most visible in the reverence shown to him by the hip-hop community. His 1970s and 80s compositions, such as the immortal Everybody Loves the Sunshine and Searching, have been sampled by hundreds of artists, including Mary J. Blige, A Tribe Called Quest, and Erykah Badu. This continuous recycling of his grooves has kept his music perpetually relevant, introducing his fluid vibraphone solos to new generations of listeners. Ayers didn't just play music. He created an atmosphere, a warm, amber-hued vibe that bridged the gap between the sophisticated intellect of jazz and the street-level energy of funk and rap. As we move through 2026, the 85-year-old maestro continues to embody a thriving creative spirit. His recent collaborations, such as featuring on Tyler, the Creator's Cherry Bomb and performing at prestigious international jazz festivals, demonstrate a stamina that defies his years. He remains an active performer, touring the globe from London to Tokyo, still striking the vibraphone keys with the same precision and joy that defined his youth. Ayers' longevity is rooted in his open-mindedness. He has always embraced the new welcoming, the digital age, and the evolution of urban music with open arms. Roy Ayers is a living treasure, a thriving legend who continues to radiate musical warmth, proving that some melodies are truly timeless. Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle is an unstoppable force of nature, a vocalist whose stratospheric range and theatrical stage presence have earned her the title Godmother of Soul. While she first tasted stardom in the 60s and 70s with the space-age funk of LaBelle and the hit Lady Marmalade, the 1980s marked her emergence as a definitive solo superstar. This was the decade where she traded disco glitter for sophisticated power ballads and high-energy pop. Her 1986 album Winter in You became a global phenomenon driven by the chart-topping duet On My Own with Michael McDonald and the dance floor anthem New Attitude. Patti didn't just sing songs, she dismantled them with a vocal intensity that involved kicking off her shoes and hitting notes that seemed to touch the heavens, creating a visceral connection with her audience that remains unmatched. The beauty of LaBelle's career lies in her ability to reinvent herself without losing her soulful core. Beyond the microphone, she conquered the world of acting, appearing in iconic 80s and 90s shows like A Different World and later American Horror Story. However, perhaps her most surprising second act came through her culinary ventures. In 2015, her Patty's Good Life sweet potato pies became a viral sensation, selling out nationwide and cementing her status as a powerhouse entrepreneur. This transition from the stage to the kitchen was seamless because it was rooted in the same warmth and authenticity that defined her music. She proved that a Black woman in her 70s and 80s could dominate both the Billboard charts and the retail aisles of Walmart. As we look at her thriving career in 2026, the 81-year-old legend shows no signs of slowing down. Patti LaBelle continues to deliver powerhouse performances, her voice still possessing the same glass-shattering clarity and emotional grit that it did 40 years ago. She remains a fashion icon, often seen in avant-garde silhouettes that reflect her bold personality. Whether she is receiving Lifetime Achievement Awards or expanding her successful lifestyle brand, she serves as a vibrant blueprint for aging with audacity and grace. Patti LaBelle is a living testament to the idea that talent is a lifelong journey and that true icons don't just age, they expand their empires. Sade Adu. Sade Adu remains the quintessential icon of cool Baron, a vocalist whose understated elegance and smoky contralto redefined the 1980s musical landscape. Leading her eponymous band, she bypassed the era's penchant for over-the-top production, opting instead for a minimalist blend of jazz, soul, and soft rock. Her 1984 debut, Diamond Life, was a global masterclass in atmosphere fueled by the suave, saxophone-drenched hit, Smooth Operator. Sade didn't just provide music. She provided a lifestyle, one rooted in mystery, sophistication, and emotional depth. Her ability to convey profound longing through a whisper-thin delivery made her a global phenomenon, selling millions of records while maintaining an aura of reclusive dignity that is virtually non-existent in today's overexposed celebrity culture. Throughout the 1980s and into the 90s, Sade proved that silence could be as powerful as a scream. Albums like Promise and Stronger Than Pride solidified her reputation as a meticulous crafter of sound. She became a visual blueprint for timeless style often seen in high-waisted denim gold hoops and her signature slicked back braid, a look that remains as fashionable in 2026 as it was in 1985. Her career is marked by long periods of intentional disappearance, returning only when she has a masterpiece to share. This less is more philosophy has protected her legacy from the fatigue of fame, ensuring that every time she reemerges, the world stops to listen. In early 2026, the 67-year-old legend continues to thrive with an untouchable grace. Her recent return to the spotlight in 2024 with the song Young Lion, a deeply personal tribute to her son Isaac Theo Adu, reminded the industry that her emotional resonance is sharper than ever. She remains one of the most successful British female artists in history, yet she lives a life largely removed from the Hollywood machine. Her influence is a silent tidal wave felt in the soulful minimalism of artists like Her and Snow Allegra. Sadie Adu is a thriving testament to the power of artistic patience. She is a living reminder that true beauty and brilliance do not need to shout to be heard across generations. Kool Moe Dee. Kool Moe Dee stands as a titan of linguistic precision, a visionary who transformed hip-hop from party-rocking chants into a high-stakes arena of intellectual combat. Emerging in the 1980s as a cornerstone of the legendary Treacherous Three, he was one of the first lyricists to introduce complex multisyllabic rhyme schemes and a rapid-fire delivery that demanded rapt attention. However, it was his solo ascent in the mid to late 80s that etched his name into the pantheon of greats. His 1987 platinum-selling masterpiece, How You Like Me Now, served as a definitive declaration of dominance. Draped in his signature wraparound shades, Moe Dee exuded a scholarly yet formidable swagger, proving that a rapper could be both a street-level icon and a master of vocabulary. Beyond his technical virtuosity, Moe Dee was a pioneer of the battle rap subculture, famously engaging in a high-profile lyrical rivalry that remains a blueprint for competitive hip-hop. He viewed the microphone as a surgical tool carving through beats with a cadence that influenced everyone from Rakim to Tupac Shakur. He was the first rapper to perform at the Grammy Awards and one of the earliest to earn a nomination, breaking down institutional doors for an entire genre. His intellectual approach extended into his literary work, notably his book, There's a God on the Mic, where he meticulously ranked the greatest MCs, cementing his reputation as the genre's most analytical and self-aware historian. As we navigate through 2026, the 63-year-old legend remains a thriving and deeply respected elder statesman of hip-hop. While his recording output slowed after the 90s, his presence is felt across the industry as a consultant actor and cultural commentator. He continues to appear at major summits and documentaries, providing a bridge between the genre's raw origins and its current global dominance. Moe Dee's legacy is preserved in the DNA of every lyrical technician who prioritizes substance and skill over fleeting trends. He is not merely a figure of the past, he is a living monument to the power of the spoken word, proving that a sharp mind and a disciplined flow are the ultimate tools for enduring relevance. Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie stands as one of the most prolific hitmakers in the history of popular music. A songwriter whose uncanny ability to craft universal melodies made him the definitive voice of the 1980s. After ascending to fame with the Commodores, Richie's solo departure in the early 80s catalyzed a period of chart dominance that remained staggering. His 1983 Diamond-certified masterpiece, Can't Slow Down, didn't just top the charts. It resided there, producing an endless stream of hits like All Night Long, All Night, and Hello. Richie possessed the unique talent of blending country-style storytelling with R&B soul and pop polish, a fusion that allowed him to transcend racial and cultural boundaries, making him a household name from Alabama to Amsterdam. In 1985, Richie utilized his immense influence to co-write We Are the World with Michael Jackson, a humanitarian anthem that galvanized the global music community for famine relief. This moment underscored his role not just as an entertainer, but as a unifying cultural diplomat. His 80s run was a masterclass in versatility. He could transition from the upbeat, Caribbean-infused rhythms of a dance track to the heart-wrenching intimacy of a power ballad with seamless grace. His trophy room overflowing with Grammys, an Academy Award, and the Gershwin Prize reflects a career built on the philosophy that a great song should feel like a conversation with an old friend. As we look at his vibrant status in early 2026, the 76-year-old icon is enjoying a massive cultural renaissance. Since joining American Idol as a judge in 2018, Richie has introduced his warmth and wisdom to a brand new generation, serving as a mentor who emphasizes the importance of the song above all else. His induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022 was a celebratory affirmation of his enduring relevance. Whether he is performing a sold-out residency in Las Vegas or headlining massive European festivals, his voice remains remarkably supple and his stage presence is as charismatic as ever. Lionel Richie isn't just a legend of the past, he is a thriving, joyful presence in the modern musical landscape, proving that love songs are a currency that never loses its value. George Clinton. George Clinton remains the undisputed high priest of funk, a visionary who didn't just write songs, but constructed an entire psychedelic mythology known as P-Funk. As the mastermind behind Parliament and Funkadelic, Clinton spent the 1980s expanding his sonic empire, blending Afrofuturism, surreal humor, and ground-shaking bass lines. While his collective dominated the 70s, his 1982 solo debut Computer Games proved he could master the burgeoning digital landscape. The album's lead single, Atomic Dog, became a cultural phenomenon. Its synthesized groove and infectious "bow wow wow" refrain didn't just top the R&B charts. It became one of the most sampled foundations in the history of hip-hop, directly birthing the West Coast G-Funk sound of the 90s. Clinton's genius lies in his ability to manage chaos. He led a sprawling collective of virtuosic musicians, turning stage performances into legendary theatrical spectacles featuring the mothership. His aesthetic, a kaleidoscope of neon dreadlocks, fur, and alien-inspired costumes, challenged every convention of what a black artist could be. He taught the world that funk was more than a genre. It was a state of mind, a liberation of the booty that promoted freedom and individuality. By the late 80s, his influence was so pervasive that he became a mentor to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, producing their album Freaky Styley and bridging the gap between funk and alternative rock. As we witness his thriving presence in early 2026, the 84-year-old Prime Minister of Funk remains a vibrant force of nature. Despite announcing retirement multiple times, Clinton continues to tour with Parliament Funkadelic, delivering marathon sets that bridge generations of fans. His recent years have seen him celebrated with a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Beyond music, he has found success as a visual artist, with his paintings reflecting the same vibrant, chaotic energy as his compositions. George Clinton is a living legend who proved that if you free your mind, your ass will follow, and his enduring thrive is a testament to the timeless power of the groove. Anita Baker. Anita Baker emerged in the mid-1980s as a sophisticated antithesis to the era's high-tempo electronic pop, reintroducing a level of vocal craftsmanship that felt both timeless and revolutionary. While she began her journey with the funk group Chapter 8, it was her 1986 solo masterpiece Rapture that transformed her into a global icon. With her rich, distinctively deep contralto, Baker became the face of the Quiet Storm radio format, a genre defined by its smooth jazz-inflected R&B and emotional maturity. Hits like Sweet Love and Caught Up in the Rapture didn't just top the charts. They earned her consecutive Grammy Awards and set a new gold standard for adult contemporary soul. She didn't rely on vocal acrobatics for the sake of showmanship. Instead, she used her voice like a fine mahogany instrument, prioritizing tone phrasing and genuine intimacy. Baker's impact during the 80s and 90s was profound because she maintained strict control over her artistic output, a rarity for female artists at the time. Her follow-up albums, Giving You the Best That I Got, and compositions solidified her reputation as a meticulous songwriter and producer who insisted on live instrumentation and soulful authenticity. This dedication to quality over quantity ensured that her music never felt dated. Even during her extended hiatuses to focus on family life, her influence remained a foundational pillar for modern vocalists. Her songs became the soundtrack for millions of weddings and romantic milestones, proving that her music possessed a unique ability to capture the complexities of the human heart with elegance and grace. As we look toward her thriving status in 2026, the 68-year-old legend remains a revered songstress, whose legacy is more vibrant than ever. After a successful legal battle to reclaim ownership of her master recordings, Baker returned to the stage with a triumphant farewell tour that saw sold-out arenas across North America. Her live performances continue to showcase a voice that has lost none of its velvety texture or emotional resonance. Beyond the stage, she has utilized her platform to advocate for artists' rights and social causes, showing a fierce dedication to her community. Anita Baker is a living testament to the power of soulful integrity. She is a thriving icon who proves that true elegance never goes out of style and that a voice of pure gold is eternal. LL Cool J. LL Cool J, born James Todd Smith, stands as the definitive blueprint for the modern hip-hop mogul. Emerging in 1984 as the first flagship artist for Def Jam Recordings, he didn't just participate in the genre's growth, he dictated its trajectory. During the 1980s, he achieved a rare duality. He was the hard-hitting street lyricist behind I Am Bad, and simultaneously the romantic pioneer who birthed the rap ballad with I Need Love. This versatility allowed him to dominate the charts while maintaining raw credibility, a balance that very few have ever truly mastered. His 1990 masterpiece, Mama Said Knock You Out, remains one of the greatest comeback statements in music history, proving that his lyrical prowess could evolve and sharpen even as the industry shifted beneath his feet. Beyond the recording booth, LL Cool J shattered the ceiling for what a rapper could achieve in mainstream entertainment. He successfully transitioned into a powerhouse actor, most notably spending over a decade as a central figure in the hit series NCIS Los Angeles. His presence on the silver screen in films like Any Given Sunday and Deep Blue Sea proved that his charisma was as magnetic in front of a camera as it was behind a microphone. Furthermore, he became an essential cultural gatekeeper by founding Rock the Bells, a global platform dedicated to honoring and preserving the timeless pillars of hip-hop culture. He didn't just move on from his roots, he built a monument to protect them. As we witness his thriving status in early 2026, the 58-year-old icon remains at the absolute peak of his creative and physical powers. His 2024 album, The Force, produced by the legendary Q-Tip, was hailed as a return to lyrical form, proving that his flow remains as surgical and potent as it was 40 years ago. Whether he is hosting the Grammy Awards with effortless charm or headlining global tours, he embodies a level of professional longevity that serves as an inspiration to artists across all genres. LL Cool J is not merely a survivor of the golden era, he is a thriving sovereign of the culture, a living reminder that with discipline and constant reinvention, greatness has no expiration date. Al Green. Al Green stands as one of the most transcendent vocalists in history, a man whose career represents a profound bridge between the earthly desires of R&B and the celestial devotion of gospel. Rising to absolute dominance in the early 1970s, with a string of masterpieces like Let's Stay Together and Love and Happiness, Green redefined the masculine voice in soul music. He traded the raw shouting grit of his predecessors for a silky falsetto-laced delivery that felt like a whispered confession. However, it was the 1980s that saw his most dramatic evolution. Following a deeply personal tragedy and a spiritual awakening, Green largely turned away from the secular spotlight to become an ordained pastor and a full-time gospel artist. During this decade, he won a staggering string of gospel Grammys, proving that his gift remained potent regardless of the subject matter. The 1980s for Green were not about chart dominance, but about the purity of the message. Albums like The Lord Will Make a Way showcased a singer who had found a new source of fire, blending his sophisticated Memphis soul arrangements with lyrics of divine praise. Yet the secular Al never truly vanished. His influence on the burgeoning 80s R&B scene was immense, as artists sought to emulate his breathy phrasing and effortless charisma. By the late 80s and early 90s, Green began to masterfully integrate both worlds, returning to secular recordings and collaborations, most notably his hit Put a Little Love in Your Heart with Annie Lennox, without compromising his ministerial calling. This duality made him a unique figure, a man of God who remained a universal symbol of romantic soul. As we look at his thriving presence in early 2026, the 79-year-old legend remains a towering pillar of American music. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995, and a recipient of the Kennedy Center Honors, Green continues to perform with a voice that remains remarkably supple and emotive. He still presides over his church in Memphis, but his musical output has seen a beautiful late career blooming, including a recent soulful cover of Lou Reed's Perfect Day that captivated a new generation of listeners. Al Green is more than just a legendary voice. He is a thriving testament to the idea that the soul has many rooms. He proves that whether singing for the pulpit or the charts, a voice rooted in authentic passion will always resonate as a divine gift. Bill T. Jones. Bill T. Jones stands as a towering figure in the world of modern dance, a visionary who transformed the human body into a potent instrument for political and social inquiry. Emerging in the 1980s alongside his late partner, Arnie Zane Jones, shattered the pristine, often detached traditions of contemporary dance by infusing it with raw, narrative-driven urgency. During this pivotal decade, he founded the Bill T. Jones/Arnie Zane Company, creating works that directly confronted the most pressing issues of the time: the AIDS crisis, racial identity, and the struggle for LGBTQ+ rights. His choreography was never merely about aesthetic beauty. It was a physical dialogue that challenged the audience to look at the world through a lens of radical empathy and intellectual rigor. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Jones's work was defined by a fearless commitment to truth. Pieces like Last Supper at Uncle Tom's Cabin / The Promised Land were monumental in their scale and ambition, blending dance text and music to explore the complexities of American history. He refused to be categorized solely as a dancer, instead operating as a multimedia philosopher who moved through space. His brilliance was recognized with a MacArthur Genius Grant in 1994, but he didn't rest on his laurels. He successfully pivoted toward Broadway-winning Tony Awards for his groundbreaking work on Spring Awakening and Fella, where he introduced a visceral African-inspired kinetic energy to the theatrical mainstream. As we witness his thriving status in early 2026, the 73-year-old icon remains the artistic director of New York Live Arts, serving as a vital mentor to a new generation of boundary-breaking creators. His recent works, such as Deep Blue Sea, continue to grapple with the collective human experience, using massive ensembles to examine the tension between the individual and the community. Jones has evolved into a global elder statesman of the arts, a recipient of the Kennedy Center Honors, whose voice is as sharp and necessary as ever. He remains a thriving force because he never stopped questioning. Bill T. Jones is a living testament to the idea that movement is not just motion, it is a form of resistance, a celebration of survival, and an eternal quest for justice. Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav stands as the most iconic hype man in the history of music, a figure who transformed a supporting role into a legendary cultural phenomenon. Emerging in the mid-1980s as a founding member of Public Enemy, Flav provided the kinetic, colorful counterpoint to Chuck D's authoritative socio-political lyricism. While the group tackled systemic injustice with Fight the Power, Flav's infectious energy, oversized clock necklaces, and trademark "Yeah boy" catchphrase ensured that their message reached the masses with a sense of urgency and entertainment. He proved that charisma was just as vital to hip-hop as the bars themselves, acting as the soul and the pulse of one of the most influential groups of the 20th century. Beyond his role as the sonic catalyst, Flav's 1980s contribution was rooted in a surprising musicality. A classically trained pianist and multi-instrumentalist, he brought a rhythmic complexity to the booth that helped define the Bomb Squad's chaotic revolutionary production style. However, his second act in the early 2000s saw him pioneer the world of reality television and with shows like The Surreal Life and Flavor of Love. While these ventures showcased his eccentric personality, they also cemented his status as a permanent fixture in the American pop culture lexicon. He managed to bridge the gap between radical political rap and mainstream entertainment, a feat achieved by sheer force of personality and in refusal to be anything other than himself. As we look at 2026, the 66-year-old icon is experiencing a heartwarming and thriving resurgence. No longer just a rap legend, Flav has become America's hype man, recently making headlines for his enthusiastic sponsorship of the U.S. women's water polo team at the Olympics and his public support for artists like Taylor Swift. This late career shift into a benevolent cultural ambassador has introduced him to an entirely new demographic. Whether he is rocking a diamond-encrusted clock at a red carpet event or performing with Public Enemy at a global festival, Flavor Flav remains a vibrant testament to the power of joy and authenticity. He is a thriving reminder that time doesn't just pass, it evolves, and he is still right on time. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown is the quintessential bad boy of R&B, a performer whose explosive energy and rhythmic precision helped bridge the gap between soulful singing and hip-hop swagger. After departing the teen pop group, New Edition Brown transformed himself into a solo titan during the late 1980s. His 1988 multi-platinum masterpiece Don't Be Cruel became a cultural touchstone, effectively launching the New Jack Swing era into the mainstream. Collaborating with producers like L.A. Reid and Babyface, he delivered an aggressive streetwise sound characterized by heavy drum machines and rap-influenced cadences. Hits like My Prerogative and Every Little Step didn't just top the charts, they earned him a Grammy and defined the fashion and choreography of a generation, cementing his status as a premier entertainer. Brown's impact on the industry went beyond his vocal abilities. He was a pioneer of the triple threat model, combining singing, songwriting, and elite dancing. His influence is clearly visible in the DNA of subsequent stars like Usher and Chris Brown, who inherited his blend of raw charisma and athletic stage presence. Despite a career often clouded by personal turbulence and high-profile tabloid scrutiny, his musical contributions remained undeniable. In the early 90s, he continued his streak with the 3-times platinum album Bobby, featuring the smash Humpin' Around. He successfully navigated the transition from a boy band member to a global superstar, proving that a singer could possess the grit of a rapper while maintaining the melodic appeal of a pop icon. As we navigate through early 2026, the 57-year-old legend is experiencing a period of dignified reflection and entrepreneurial growth. He has successfully reclaimed his narrative through projects like The Bobby Brown Story and his candid biography, which have humanized his complex legacy for a new audience. Today, he remains active in the industry, frequently reuniting with New Edition for sold-out arena tours that celebrate their collective impact on Black music. Additionally, his business ventures, including Bobby Brown Foods, showcase a thriving commitment to family and legacy. Bobby Brown is not merely a figure of the past. He is a resilient icon whose innovative fusion of genres fundamentally reshaped the sound of modern R&B, proving that his prerogative was always to lead rather than follow. Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson stands as a definitive titan of pop culture, a visionary who emerged from the immense shadow of her family's legacy to become the premier architect of modern female stardom. While her journey began in the late 70s, the 1980s served as her era of total artistic liberation. Her 1986 masterpiece Control was a revolutionary manifesto, blending industrial funk, R&B, and pop with the cutting-edge production of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It wasn't just an album, it was a declaration of independence that shattered the image of the passive female singer. She followed this in 1989 with Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814, an ambitious social justice concept album that made history by producing 7 top 5 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, a record that remains unsurpassed as of early 2026. Janet's influence on the industry is immeasurable, particularly in the realm of performance. She pioneered the model of the total entertainer, where complex, high-octane choreography became as essential as the music itself. Her military precision dance routines and visual storytelling in music videos set the gold standard for every pop icon who followed, from Britney Spears to Beyoncé. Beyond the stage, Janet became a symbol of resilience and body positivity, navigating the pressures of global fame with a quiet, steely dignity. Her ability to blend themes of romance, sexuality, and socio-political awareness allowed her to connect with millions of fans on a deeply personal level, turning her into a global brand that transcended race and gender. As we look at her thriving status in 2026, the 59-year-old legend remains at the zenith of her powers. Her Together Again World Tour, which extended into 2024 and 2025, broke attendance records and reaffirmed her status as a premier live draw. Recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, she continues to be a vital influence in the digital age, with her catalog garnering billions of streams. Janet has also embraced her role as a matriarch of the industry, using her documentary projects to reclaim her narrative and inspire the next generation of artists. Janet Jackson is not just a legacy artist. She is a thriving, living institution of music and dance, proving that true control is a lifelong journey of evolution and grace. Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan, born Yvette Marie Stevens, is widely regarded as the Queen of Funk, a vocalist whose seismic range and rhythmic complexity redefined the vocal limits of contemporary music. While she first captivated the world in the 1970s as the lead singer of Rufus, the 1980s served as the decade of her ultimate solo ascent. Her 1984 global smash, I Feel For You, written by Prince and featuring a legendary rap intro by Mel Mel, became a watershed moment in music history, seamlessly blending R&B, pop, and hip-hop into a chart-topping masterpiece. This track didn't just win a Grammy, it solidified Chaka's status as a pioneer who could dominate the burgeoning digital sound of the 80s while maintaining the grit of a classic soul singer. What sets Chaka apart is her unparalleled technical ability. She is a singer's singer, whose use of complex jazz phrasing and skyscraping high notes influenced an entire generation of vocalists from Whitney Houston to Mary J. Blige. Throughout the 80s, she released a string of sophisticated albums like Chaka Khan and Destiny, proving her versatility across genres. She was never content with being a radio-friendly pop star. She was a musical explorer who collaborated with jazz legends like Dizzy Gillespie and Chick Corea. Her bold style, marked by voluminous hair leather and vibrant fashion, made her a visual icon of unapologetic female power and artistic independence. As we celebrate her in early 2026, the 72-year-old icon is experiencing a magnificent and thriving late career bloom. Her induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2023 was a long overdue recognition of her 10 nominations and immense impact on the genre. Chaka remains a dynamic presence on the global stage, recently releasing new music and headlining major international festivals with a voice that still possesses its signature power and gravelly soul. She has also become a vocal advocate for artists' rights and health awareness, using her platform to mentor younger creators. Chaka Khan is not just a legend of the past. She is a living, thriving force of nature, proving that true fire never burns out. It only gets hotter with time. The legends we've explored, from the regal Diana Ross to the high-voltage Flavor Flav, represent more than just chart-topping hits. They are the architects of a global cultural revolution. Each artist utilized their unique genius to shatter barriers, redefining soul funk and hip-hop for generations to come. Their endurance into 2026 proves that authentic talent and cultural sovereignty are timeless. Here at Black Excellence Legends, we celebrate these icons who turned their prerogatives into blueprints for success, showing the world that brilliance knows no limits. However, a definitive question remains for our community. When looking at the sheer versatility of these icons, who truly holds the title of the most influential pioneer of the 1980s? Was it Janet Jackson for her revolutionary control, or Bobby Brown for the raw energy of New Jack Swing?